Hello and welcome back to another Club World Cup fantasy video. Today we're taking a look at the best differentials for your team in Matchday 1. Now differentials are playing a huge part in this tournament's game and we're going to explain why in just a little minute with 5 big differentials that you could choose for Matchday 1. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. So if you've played fantasy football before, you'll know that differentials can be useful because it helps you gain rank over other people, mainly for your overall rank but in your mini league as well. But this time round, differentials are a little bit more important, and as you can see on screen, players in your team in this game that are less than 5% owned and score more than 4 points in a match will be awarded a scouting bonus, which essentially gives a player 2 extra points. So if you have anyone that basically returns, whether that's a clean sheet, a goal, they are going to be awarded an extra 2 points on top of that if they are less than 5% owned. Now just as an example, as you can see on screen, we have Josko Vardiol. If he's going to play a full 90 minutes and keep a clean sheet, he gets a total of 7 points, and that's because he has an ownership of well over 5%. But for example, if you did pick another Manchester City defender, for example someone like Rico Lewis, who has an under 5% ownership, him picking up the exact same thing that Vardiol does with the 90 minutes and the clean sheet, he's going to be awarded that extra 2 points and he's going to have a total of 9 points. Now if you have this over a course of maybe 3 or 4 different players and over the course of 3 match days, you could be looking at an extra 5 to 10 points or even more than that over the course of the group stage, just by picking different players for the exact same team and the exact same position, but the differentials do make a big difference. So looking at our first differential for today, we have Daniel Svensson. Now he is someone that by the deadline he could potentially creep over that 5% ownership mark. He's only 5.3 million and he's only owned by 4.3% of the game, and he's looking like a very nice option for Matchday 1 and the entire group stage in general. Now his last 5 matches he has played 90 minutes in all, so he's not going to be substituted, or at least very unlikely to be, and he's also a very attacking fullback as well. He does play left wing back for Borussia Dortmund and he's picked up 3 assists in his last 5 matches, and with a game up against Fluminense in the first game of the tournament, he has a very high chance of doing well. Borussia Dortmund do also have a 32% chance of keeping a clean sheet in Matchday 1, which does only put them at 13th, so they're not actually one of the highest for the clean sheet odds, so maybe he's going to be a little bit better in like your Matchday 2s and stuff like that, but he's going to be nailed, and he's a very attacking player as well, so he can pick up attacking returns and there is still a decent chance of him picking up a clean sheet with a nice little fixture in Matchday 1. Next up, we're going for another defender, this time from Juventus, and it's going to be Federico Gatti. Now, he is someone who has suffered from a broken leg injury over the last couple of months. So when we look at his last couple of games, or Juventus's last couple of games, he hasn't really been getting too many minutes, but he did get called up for the Italy squad in our most recent international break. However, he didn't play any minutes there, but he is back in training and he is more than likely going to be fit enough to play for Juventus in the Club World Cup. So he is someone that you are going to have to keep an eye on just to make sure that he is going to start, but more than likely he should be available for Juventus, and he's definitely one of Juventus's best players, so if he is fit, he is probably going to start. And another really nice fixture in Matchday 1, this time against Al Ain, who I believe are the second worst ranked team in the tournament, only ahead of Auckland as well, so a really good fixture for them, and they are rated as the 3rd most likely for a clean sheet in Matchday 1 with a 68% chance. So obviously, again, like I said, one to keep an eye on because he has been injured throughout most of this season, but if he is going to play, only 4.9 million, he's looking like a real bargain. Next up, we have another Juventus player. This time it's Kenan Yildiz, and Juventus are looking very underrated in this game. I think Kolo Muani is only 2% owned as well, and Conceição, who is the other Juventus attacker, is also under 5%, so a lot of the Juventus attackers are looking like some differentials who could pick up some extra points. But obviously, as I said, they do have that really nice fixture against Al Ain in Matchday 1, but Kenan Yildiz is going to be one of my favourites. His form has has been fantastic over the last couple of games, and his minutes have been pretty decent as well, with 90, 89 and 89 in his last 5 matches. And you'll notice as well that he has been getting the returns when he does play more often as well. Another bonus with him is he does take some of the corners for Juventus as well, which does give him that chance of a potential assist as well. So a lot of places for Yildiz to pick up some attacking returns. Unfortunately, he is not going to be on penalties, but that isn't always what you do need. It would have been more useful if he was a midfielder in this game, because he doesn't actually play at striker, with Kolo Muani usually playing up there, but he is still listed as a forward. Obviously, a lot of us are going to be having Kane and Mbappe and Erling Haaland and stuff like that, so maybe if you can't fit him in, he's not going to be someone that you are going to be able to go to. But as I said, Juventus are still looking really good for Matchday 1, with a 2.72 predicted goals as well, according to 11ify, which does put them at 5th for Matchday 1 as well. So maybe a little bit of tinkering could be needed to try and fit in a Juventus attacker because of how little owned they all are, but Kenan Yildiz is definitely looking like a real good option. Next, we're going for a midfielder, and it's going to be from Benfica, and it is Aktürkoğlu. Now, personally, I don't really think he is a absolutely fantastic standout option, but I don't really think there's a lot of midfielders out there under 5% owned that are looking too great. So Aktürkoğlu is definitely the best of a semi-decent bunch. His form's been pretty decent over the last couple of games, with 2 assists and 2 goals as well. He has been starting as well, which is of course a big bonus. Up against Boca Juniors in Matchday 1 isn't the best fixture of all, as you can see, only 1.9 predicted goals, which does still put them in 9th, so not really too bad for Matchday 1. But mainly you're going to be looking at long term, or at least in the medium term, for Matchday 2 when Benfica come up against Auckland. If you can have Aktürkoğlu in your team, potentially bring in a Pavlidis, you could be looking at a double, maybe a triple up on the Benfica attack against obviously a semi-pro team, which we did talk about in our last video. So a really good option just for the group stage in general, but he is looking like a pretty decent player to add to your squad. And then last but not least, we have another player from, this time, Flamengo, and he's someone who I haven't actually seen, I think, at all yet so far, but I think he could be a really nice player to have. As you can see down the bottom, Flamengo have a 55% chance of a clean sheet, which does put them at 4th for Matchday 1, so I think a Flamengo defender or the goalkeeper, who does look like a really nice pick as well, could be a really good option. This time round though, we are picking Guillermo Varela. Now, I've recently found out that he did used to play for Man United back in like 2016, 2017, so that's something that I didn't know, but 4.9 million and only 1.5% owned. He is someone who could be a really good gem in the game. He's got a goal and 3 assists in his last 5 matches. The only thing could be whether he starts or not. As you can see, he's had 90 minutes in 2 of his last 5, 58 in 1, and then he's came on off the bench playing 31 minutes and 2 minutes in his last 5. So obviously that really nice fixture against Esperance in Matchday 1. I think Flamengo could be a really underrated team to go for, but obviously an attacking right back, and he can play centre mid as well. He has came on, I believe it was the game he played 31 minutes in, he did come on at centre midfield as well, so very versatile, can play further up the pitch as well. Obviously, as you can see, he can get attacking returns as a defender, and if he does plays that 60 minutes and keeps a clean sheet, he could be a really nice punt. But that is going to be it for today's video. Obviously, we could only fit in 5 differentials, so if you didn't find any that you did like, here is a list of some other differentials that I do quite enjoy that you could potentially pick as well. We've got goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders and forwards in there for you to choose from. Like I said, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We'll have more Club World Cup fantasy content coming all the way up to the deadline. Make sure to join my mini league as well if you haven't already. The link is in the description, or the code has been on screen for the entirety of the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.